What's going on? My name is Jack2505. This is the Horde House, and today we're going to be talking about the engineers Dell and Bed in Operation 4 since the update in July. Now, about a week ago, the coalition was supposed to release an update with changes to the engineer, which included perks for the engineer and further discounts. Unfortunately, this update has been delayed because I wanted to do one based on the perks and the new updates that the engineers were getting. So this review will still be on Dell and Bed in their current form. I will be doing another review, just a touched up one, once they get their perks. So bear in mind that I do play Horde on Master, so this will be looking at the engineers in Horde from a Master point of view and how it work with teammates, including randoms. Now let's go over Dell's card setup. First card, efficient fabrication, reduced fortification cost. A must card. This card for me is maxed out at level 6 and I get a 32% discount on top of the 10%. Dell has the best discounts in the game, guys. When a Dell's on your team, he should be the only person buying stuff from the fabricator. No excuses. Especially on Master with the power drain modifier on. Armor plating, fortifications over 50% health, resist 32% damage. Great card for keeping wires, sentries and lockers alive for as long as possible, and good for keeping enemies out. Reinforced fabrication, 175% increased fortification health. This card stacks with armor plating, giving even further protection for your fortifications. Ingenuity, 60% increased repair efficiency, and overclocked locker, 27% increased weapon locker reload. Another must card to supply the DPS heroes with lockers and ammo for max DPS chances on the enemies, mini bosses and bosses. Now let's go over Dell's discounts with a maxed out level 6 card. Barrier, 2160 power. Decoy, 3240 power. MG Sentry, 5400 power. Shock Sentry, 4320 power. Weapon Locker, 5400 power. And Forge, 10,800 power. So in total I have 42% discount in Horde with Dell. Like I said before, if Dell's on the team, he should be the only one buying. Now let's move on to Bed, the aggressive engineer. Let's go over his cards. Combat Engineer, repair 330% faster for longer repairs. I know this card isn't very popular with Bed engineers, however, I use it at times when the base has been overrun and I need to do quick repairs, or if I've not really had the chance to get precision repair kills. Also, it really helps Bed having a COG gear around. So I know this card isn't really that popular, but I like to slot it in at times. Bloody support, a must. Precision damage causes 30% bleed damage when a reinforced DR1 is ready. My card is currently level 5. Precision repairs. Precision kills with a torque bow, M-bar, or marksar, or a long shot. Heal all fortifications for 1600 health points. Global Sentry upgrade. All MG Sentries do 35% more damage. Global Overclock. All weapon lockers reload 50% faster. Global card applies to basically anyone. So if anyone buys anything from the fabricator, just in regards to lockers and sentries, beds, global, sentry and overclock cards will apply to those fortifications. Bed discounts. Barrier, 2800 power. Decoy, 4200 power. MG Sentry, 7000 power. Shock Sentry, 5600 power. Weapon Locker, 7000 power. And Forge, 14,000. In total, 10% discount for bed. Playing the engineer comes with a lot of pressure. If the engineer does not do a good job, you probably won't make it to 50. I play with a lot of players from my community, and the players that join me are very good players. Unfortunately, I'm not always able to fill a group, so this means dealing with randoms. The players that join me on a regular basis already know, we already have quite a good understanding. This is how to deal with randoms. When starting a Horde game in a custom lobby with randoms, make sure you're the host. When the game starts, I always say you have around 10 to 15 waves to establish an understanding with the randoms. The first statement I always make is, only the engineer buys and upgrades. Please deposit each wave for lockers and wires. I will build a locker for each person and level them to 4. Please do not buy perks until we get attacked. Now, most players with common sense and actually want to win will follow this. Some players like to play their own way and don't have a teamwork bone in their body. Keep an eye on these players because they expose themselves very early. The quicker you deposit and help the engineer to build for the team, the quicker you'll be able to get to your perks. I always leave myself last when building a locker. DPS characters come first. By wave 15, you should have a locker for each person, a few wires, and a tap protected by wires, and maybe a shock or MG sentry, depending on your preference. Now let's talk about building defenses around taps. With the taps getting a long deserved buff and actually worth going for, it's important to build defenses around them, which I admit is very fun. It's actually quite a nice change to play forward a little bit more aggressively. We all know at times the taps, they can spawn in some awful places, and it can be frustrating to try and defend them. The tactic I use is to build levels 1 to 2 wires all around the taps and have a shock or MG sentry aimed directly at the taps to protect them. This tactic does work most of the time, and if the team starts to push up a bit safely, you could basically play a game of protect the taps. Once you have at least 2 taps running and they hardly ever get taken out, you will have so much power to do anything you want, from buying perks to building more fortifications to building weapons, etc. In particular, if you don't have a jackpot on the team. Continue this method until all taps are spawned. You could basically push for the further taps if you want, but keep at least 2 alive will be suitable enough. I'm the type of engineer who likes to keep all the taps alive, by the way. I just like playing like that now. I just find it quite fun. Keep the taps repaired and gather power from them each wave. Okay, let's talk about weapons for Dell. Now, Dell doesn't really specialize in any weapons in particular, but I prefer to use a claw and a retro lancer if I could get one from Kate, or eventually buy a lancer chainsaw from the fabricator. The tactic that I use for Dell, I eventually buy myself a level 4 locker and basically stock them up with ice cannons, in particular for boss waves. This is where Dell can be very useful to the DPS heroes by freezing mini bosses and bosses for easy kills. Make sure that you're collecting those ice cannons, or buy them once you have power to spare. This tactic works so well on Guardians, Sentinels, Matriarch, Warden, etc. Those kind of characters, it works so well on them. So it's a good tactic to use for Dell. Weapon setup for bed. I prefer to use Torque Bow and Marksman for bed because they provide precision, kill repair bonuses, and bleeding support damage. I also use the ice cannon for mini bosses and bosses with bed. However, he does have more DPS options for bosses than Dell does. Now, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. And feel free to join the stream when I'm live on Twitch to play some Horde. I'm Jack2505. This is the Horde House. This is 2505 Gaming. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.